if the frogs are going, this should be an interesting. And tonight, geocaching in the swamp via the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Hey, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, if you hear frogs...
They can't hear that. They're way out in the field somewhere in the forest. Okay, that one's not. But they can't hear that.
This will have the tranquil sound, so we'll want to know if this is beneficial during the...
the sounds of rainforest.
We have the window open in the GeoSnippets studio because it's warm out, and the lights are warm.
It's not warm out, it's warm in.
Yes.
Here at this room.
And we want to breathe. So I opened the window, and of course, okay, now we're streaming.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a good look. All right, I'm going to stop that.
There you go.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right, so now I can turn it down to where the chat room is, and we'll be moving on to that. So yeah, literally the window is open, and apparently a couple of bullfrogs decided to bull.
A couple frogged.
Yes, and so if you hear the tranquil sounds of bullfrogs in the background, it's not that we're playing extra ambient music in the background.
It could be.
That's live. As
Bullfrogs.
it happens, bullfrogs as they're
Yeah, pretty much. That's
serenading the other lady bullfrogs to do bullfrog things.
It is spring.
It is spring, and that's what happens. Boy, we have got a jam-packed show for you tonight. Hokey Smokes Bullwinkle, and judging by the amount of people that are already filing in to the chat room, this is going to be a packed room tonight.
I opened it up and I said, holy crap,
yeah,
how many people are there already?
I guess we better start the broadcast then.
Yeah.
Yes, it may have the slight item that is precariously hanging behind us, right about there. So that might be the item of which people are kind of curious about tonight, because
that has been torturing me.
That has been torturing on the door over here for the past month. And we have been very good. Have not.
I haven't even touched it.
We opened it up once just to kind of look.
Yeah, and I was like, "Ooh, look at this!"
And there was so much stuff in this this little bag that you see behind us, because when you unclip it, it opens up into bigger things, and it's actually a rather nice sized bag once you actually do it, but it folds up nicely into this smaller size, what you would consider probably a good geocaching pack. Well, the cool thing about it is there's a ton of stuff in it. The bad thing about it is if we play with it, it's going to be like taking something apart and then realizing when you go to put it back,
it's not PLO, parts left over.
Yes, you're going to have a couple nuts and bolts where it's like, they don't need this.
Yeah, that happens at work a lot.
We just wouldn't be able to put it back the way it was. So we have been very good.
Yes, we have.
And not going through it like we really wanted to. So, anyways, we want to thank mygeocachingstore.com. If you right now, it's about 8:15. We've got
Salty.
What's that?
He didn't get his picture submitted.
Wait a minute. I thought Salty did. Wait, hang on. Honestly.
He says he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he would know, but I see, now I have to check, because then who am I thinking of? If you go to geosnippits.com, and I'm doing this on our laptop here so that I can, and this is how this works when you have 4 different computers going at the same time. I'm looking at my laptop monitor over here. I'm using my main computer keyboard, which is a totally separate computer, and that's not going to work so good.
What would you like me to type?
Geosnippits.com. And we will get that going. All right, go ahead and hit enter. And to the direct left of the viewer for the live broadcast, there is a picture that shows all the goodies that's in the geocaching survival bag that's given to us by mygeocachingstore.com. When you click on there, it gives all the rules for the contest and all the fun things that go into it. And then it has all the pictures. Now, Amy, have you even seen all these yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, because take a look. Here's what we have. We have a ton that came in, especially at the last minute.
Oh my!
That are just funny as heck. You got to go and see this when you get a chance. We've got tons of really, really good pictures.
They're awesome.
And you're right. I thought Salty CA did his, but unfortunately he's not. But have no fear. We have another contest coming. Actually, we have several contests coming up in the next couple of months. Another one we are going to talk about tonight. And then even another one after that we've got coming up. So anyways, there is tons of stuff for you to go and actually see all the stuff that's going on. For the people that didn't make it, hey, you know what? We had this going on for a month, folks. We're sorry you didn't make it, but it's not like we didn't have 4 weeks to get this done.
And some people probably just didn't have time.
Didn't have time, or maybe they didn't want their picture up or anything like that, and that's fine. Yeah, that's how it is.
I'm not a photogenic person.
You are a very photogenic.
No,
you are
I'm not
hot.
No, I'm not a very photogenic person.
She is. She's hot.
Yeah, he has to say that. But yeah. So
okay.
I don't blame you.
Now let me see if there is. I'm gonna probably totally screw up the entire thing tonight. Let me see. There's a custom overlay. I thought there was a way. And I'm going to try this while we're doing this. This is what we do in the pre-show.
Static J and his wife are having their baby in 5 weeks.
Oh, man, congratulations.
He's on the couch.
Awesome. I'm sure he is. He won't be after that.
There's no room for her, Billy, and Body Pillow, apparently. And him.
I'm going to keep that right there, sir, because I have learned.
Yes, you have.
Okay, now here is screen share. Let me see if I can actually get this to do what I want. Let's see. Google.
What are you doing?
I want to see if there is a way of doing Google Hangouts. And this is the wrong time to play with this.
Yes, it kind of is.
Because I wanted to see if
we're in the pre-show.
If there is a way of showing the website so we can show the winner. You know what I'm going to have to do?
Yeah, play with this later?
Well, we can do that. But what I will do, because there's got to be a way of showing the picture who wins this. Because we're going to call out a name, and I want to have something associated to that. So what I'm going to do while Amy does what she does.
What, talk to the chat room?
I do that too.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got a ton of stuff. I mean, we really have a lot to do tonight.
We do?
Yes.
I haven't even, I looked to see what the question was for next week, and that's about as far as I got.
Do you even know what the subject is tonight?
No, I have no clue. Usually you come through and say, hey, we're talking about this. Let's see, what are we talking about?
All right, you figure that out while I'm doing this.
Ooh, I know how to do that.
Oh, do you now?
Sort of. I know how to.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you ever done it before, baby?
Family show.
I'm sorry.
I've been in enough of them. Hello.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, tonight's show we are going to be talking about
creating your own geocaching vlog.
Yes.
And as you know, he and I have been in
bunches of them.
Bunch of them, whatever.
Okay.
So, oh gosh, didn't make it to the CETO event.
No, that's actually something we're going to talk about a little bit tonight too. We went, and this was the discussion last night.
I saw that.
That we took that into the geocaching podcast that we did last night. Basically, we came up. We were going to go to the CETO event on Sunday, and I started going over. I mean, we actually went and we bought stuff for the event. We bought a nice grabber for Amy.
Yes.
So she can pick stuff up. We bought batteries. We bought gloves. We bought a bunch of other stuff. We were ready to go to this thing, and then I started reading a little more about it. And it was kind of interesting because you basically walk a mile to the trailhead. So from the car, you walk a mile, starts.
Just to get started.
Just to get to where the trailhead is. Now, the kicker is no trail.
Right.
This was a part of Jordan Lake that there is, it was a ocean shore type of cleanup, which meant there was solid bushwhack for another 2 miles. So this was going to end up being a 6-mile hike where 3/4 of it or 2/3 of it was going to be
bushwhacking.
Solid by the shore bushwhacking.
Yeah.
Now I have seen copperheads at Jordan Lake. I have seen other things at Jordan Lake. I was concerned for my own personal self as far as physical ability to actually do this, because that is a lot of briars. That is a lot of getting really, really messed up. Plus the long hike. I mean, that was 6 miles. Then I was concerned about Amy, of course, because Amy does not do well with bugs. She says so because when they're outside, they're in their home, that kind of thing. But to actually be out there with them as you're doing something, I really was kind of...
I don't do spider webs very well at all.
And that's all it is. I mean, you're walking solid. That's why she has me walk first.
That's why I follow Hammy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will freely admit that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm good if I can walk around them or step over them or something.
No, this is bushwhack. You have no choice.
Yeah, I don't do good with walking through spider webs.
Yeah, so this is the first time I really sat there and went, this is beyond our limits. This is going to be something that potentially could turn really, really bad really, really quick. And I did not want to put Amy in that kind of a position, let alone me being halfway there and suddenly not feeling well, that kind of thing. I'm not in the best shape. And it's like, I mean, unless you like round as a shape, I'm not in good physical condition for a 6-mile hike right now. That's going to change because I am not going to get to the point again where I'm not going to be able to make something because of my physical abilities, unless it's something completely obvious like...
Unless it's kayaking like Ping Voyager likes to do.
Well, I love kayaking. That I can do. It's the, okay, Andy, we're going to we're going to climb up some of the mountains out west and go that way. You know what? That's not going to work so good for somebody.
No matter what I condition I'm in, I'm not rock climbing.
Yeah, so it's one of those type things. So yeah, that was the first time. So that was the whole geocaching podcast show last night. We talked about geocachers' limitations and some of the safety things that you need to keep along regardless. So it was a good show.
Sure.
That was a good show. So anyways, that was what she kind of mentioned in our show notes. We got a lot of stuff going. If you are not aware, we have this contest with mygeocachingstore.com that's coming to an end tonight. We have another contest we are going to introduce starting in 2 weeks.
This is all news to me, too. I'm learning it, too.
And we're going to be doing that. And then in June, when that contest ends, we are going to have another contest.
Wow, we are just all about giving stuff away.
We are about giving stuff away, and you guys winning prizes. So you're going to have to stay tuned. And
you better win them before I get them.
Did you get that nice breeze coming in?
No, you're sitting in between me and it.
Oh, it's so nice. I'm sorry. I'll fan it over a little bit. There's a real nice breeze coming in the studio right now, so it's good. Well, yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We've got a new promotion that we're doing for our viewers and listeners. Matter of fact, it'll go live this week. Because I didn't get a chance to do it. But we have a new sponsorship program for you fine folks to get involved with the show where you can get stuff back. So in other words, if you set a certain amount of donations for the show, because we need to keep the lights on and keep the things going, we need money to do that. And if you do donations, you are going to have access to a whole bunch of things that we're going to be made available only to the subscribers for this. We're not going to do like other shows where we're just not going to put a show out once or twice a month and make it special for the listeners. I don't believe in that. We want you to get our goodness each and every week that we can do it. So this is going to be above and beyond. So, for example, one of the things that we're going to be doing, and no, you don't know about this yet, but you're about to find out.
Oh, goody.
Yes. One of the things that we are going to provide only to our sponsorship viewers and listeners is we're going to do hangouts like every other month. And we'll do one hangout where you can join in the hangout with us. So we'll have up to 10 people, I think is the maximum limit, that you will get an invite to come and
join the show
and join us. It's not going to be a show that anybody else is going to see. It's only a meet and greet for our viewers and listeners that are sponsored that send in monies to us. So that way you guys can either come in and directly talk with us. We'll be around for like an hour, hour and a half, and we're going to just talk. I mean, it's not like a show. It's going to be just, hey, how's it going? Let's talk about geocaching. And just start up a discussion that way. And then we'll put the link out to the other people that don't want to actually be on the show with us, but they can view it. So they'll be able to watch it live, and they'll also be able to watch it because it'll be recorded, just like we're doing here. But the only people that'll be allowed to see it are the people that give for the sponsorship. So that's going to be a cool thing. We're going to be doing that. We are also going to give extra content that only our sponsored people get as well. We've had a huge request, this still blows my mind, a huge request for our pre-show. The people that they don't watch the videos,
or they can't be here,
and they strictly listen to the podcast. Our pre-show, the stuff that we do now, it's like 20 minutes just vaporizes of all the stuff that we talk about, and you get a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you never get in the show. And so they said, could you turn that into a little snippet podcast that each week we can listen to that? That will also be extra content for the people that subscribe and give money. And it's not going to be, we don't want you to give $100 unless you want to, and then we'll love you very much and thank you. But if you've got a couple bucks you can spare, you get in the club. It's as simple as that. You don't have to buy a geocoin. You don't have to, do other things to get into it. You just donate, and you can set the limit of how much you want to give, and we'll give that way. And we might even have special prizes that go out as well. So, hey, we try to make it as enticing for you so that we get the monies, and I'll guarantee you, and Amy will say to you as well, every penny that goes to that goes to this goes directly to the show. That's it. It's not like we're taking the money and using it for it goes for the show. And we'll go over more about that next week, because that's when it's going to be officially in place. Now, one of the suggestions we got off the chat room is what do you think about building an event around the Hangout live show to get more viewers? I'd love to do that. I'd like to see how that'll work. That's a great idea. I love all the suggestions. Anything you've got that you want to tell us about the show, through the chat room or gsreboot.com.
There's a question below there.
Let's see. It is fun. Will we lose it live if you do that? We will lose it live if you do that.
Will we lose it live if you do that? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Can you expand on that?
So basically what happens is, if you're talking about the extra hangout that we would do for the people, then yes, that's done live. And then you can get a link if you're not there to actually participate, but you want to see what happens with the Hangout. You'll get a link just like you do for our shows, but only the people that subscribe will get it.
You may be talking about like the pre-show and the actual show. So
yeah, we got
other talking about spiders. No, you won't lose if you don't subscribe. And you tune in to the show.
You get just like we always do.
Just like you always do.
Every week you get I don't believe in cutting out content for people.
No, we're not cutting out anything. We're adding to.
Right. So if you basically what happens is, as a reward, I'm going to break puberty any day now. As a reward for people that do subscribe to the show, you get extra content. We'll have an extra hangout for people to come and just chit-chat and talk and get that. We will expand on that if any way that you want to with that.
Right. No, this show is still going to be free.
Just like it always has.
Nothing Thursday changes. Nights is going to change.
No.
Nothing is going to be pay. Nothing like that. It's all going to be free.
Yep.
And you'll still get prizes.
Right. It's just with this new sponsorship program that we're putting out for our viewers.
It's just extra stuff.
It's extra goodies.
Right.
That we'll do for that.
And a way for us to raise money for the show so we can continue to send out the prizes, which reminds me I got to remind you of something.
Yes.
And things like that. And keep
because it costs money.
The website and all of that running.
Yeah, and we'll go over all that fun stuff. It's a terrible thing to talk about, Minnie, because it's a pain in the butt, and I know what it's like out there.
Yeah.
I'm currently unemployed until I get a new job right now, and we all know what this is like when you go through stuff like this.
Yeah.
So we're doing the best we can to keep the shows running. And we need help to do that, and this is a great way to reward people for being able to do that. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we got 8:30, folks, and once again, another, thank you. Mm-hmm. Another 20 minutes just blew by. I'm going to do one quick test before we start so that we've got, make sure that the sound's coming through. Here we go.
You know what Sunday is?
I have a smart aleck remark, but no, I do not know what Sunday is.
May 4th.
May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yes. Wow. I should have known that.
You should have.
Holy cow. Things you learn on the pre-show. All right, folks, I think we are all set. We want you to sit back, relax. Get ready for an amazing show. We got a lot of stuff for you tonight, and judging by the people that we have in the chat room, you are ready and willing and waiting to learn who wins this prize. So let's listen to the sounds of the frogs in the background. It is rather calming.
Nice, right? See, and you didn't want to open the windows.
Wow, and yet we get to breathe. All right.
Breathing in frogs, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is about to go once I get this overlay set up. And we will go from there. It's awesome.
And go from where?
Well, I'm actually going over.
There we go.
I was in a different area.
Yeah, you were.
And now we have that. And I think we're about ready. All right, guys, sit back, relax. We got some stuff for you. You are really, really going to enjoy it. Here we go. Well, hello, and welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Headhart Hat Smith, and I am here with the lovely, the delicious, and the delightful wife, Amy. And you know what? We have a ton of fun stuff for you tonight, and I do have one little part that I have to say because I didn't say it in the initial part, so I'm going to say it now. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. See, if I don't do that, three guys in black coats and sunglasses show up, and they come and get me if I don't talk about stuff like that.
But yeah, the whole bed, which is nice.
Yeah. The Tech Podcast Network's a great bunch of guys, and they're fantastic. Ted Cochran is the one who runs all that, and he's the one that we try to get together for like CES and so many other things that they do. If you love tech type shows, be sure to check out the Tech Podcast Network, and you will just happen to see the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast as being part of the proud family of the Tech Podcast Network. So that's really cool. So it is May 21st, 2014, and in the next hour or so, both co-host Amy and I will bring you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession known as geocaching. So if you are just new to geocaching, you have found the right place. If you are a veteran of geocaching, you are in the right place. We have a community that is literally worldwide that we talk with each and every day. And also, if it sounds like we're doing this from the deep swamps of Alabama,
they cannot hear that.
I'm telling you, it's going to be in the tape.
Can you guys hear that? Tell me if you can hear that in the chat room.
So there you go. We're going to find out.
If you can hear that.
All right. We have the window open in the GeoSnippits studios here in North Carolina, where it's rather warm with all the lights, and we'll probably try to do this until it's so warm that you have to keep the windows closed. But because it's spring, the bullfrogs are a mating, and they are calling out to find other bullfrogs to do bullfrog things.
The lady bullfrogs.
Yes. So if you hear bullfrogs, we're not trying to do ambience of tranquility behind us. We just want to breathe and the windows open.
See? They can't hear it.
Okay. If you can't hear it, that's fine. We'll see if it shows up on the recorder when we do this. Because in our headphones, we can hear it. So if we can hear it, it's coming through.
Nobody can hear that. So
all right. We'll say. So if we're just mumbling about this, that's
we're the only ones that it's bothering.
Okay, that's fine. I'll forget about it.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, because it's actually rather tranquil. Let's see. Not a whole lot happened this week between Amy and myself when it came to geocaching. She is working on her master's and
Yes.
just got another A.
Yes.
And I am so very proud with her. And we got, what, another year yet?
Oh, yeah.
So we got time yet before things happen where she gets it.
I just restarted my business again.
All right, yeah, she does her Scentsy stuff, so we're going to do
just started that again.
And, that's all part of the fun. So
and your friend's been in the hospital.
Yeah, oh, yes. We have a friend that's been very, 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 very ill.
So we've been very busy.
We've been busy. We were going to try to make it to the CETO event on Sunday because we wanted to get our souvenir and go that way. Unfortunately, and we went out and if you listen to the pre-show, we went over this a little bit, but we went out, we bought things like a new grabber for her to pick up stuff on the ground. We got new gloves, we got batteries for the GPS units. We got everything set up to go out and do all this fun stuff. And then I actually read the rest of the actual description of the CETO. Now, this one was actually kind of a little more rustic. I think it had like a 3.5 terrain, and that was probably on the light side of what they were asking. What it was, literally there is a 1 mile hike from where the cars are to the trailhead. There is no trail. It was it goes around Lake Jordan, and the idea is very simple. You get to the shoreline, and for about 2 miles, you bushwhack the entire 2 miles, picking up garbage that obviously has floated up over time from the lake. I looked at that and went, I am not in the best shape right now to do a 6 mile hike bushwhacking, and there's a lot of briars there. There's a lot of raspberries, a lot of other things that will rip you to shreds. Amy is not the best when it comes to bugs.
I have friends in the chat room with that too.
Okay, yes, there was a whole discussion earlier about spiders.
Yeah, there was a spider discussion. Apparently there are none in Ireland.
Yes, they sure are in other places.
Itty-bitty ones.
Yeah.
And they don't have snakes either.
Yeah, and we got both. I've seen copperheads at Lake Jordan. I've seen a lot of
I'm
things.
moving to Ireland.
So long story short, we just didn't have the gumption to go 6 miles right now with the way that we are. And we just were realizing our limitations. We're not young whippersnappers anymore, and we're not in the best shape. We're going to fix that over the next year because I do not want to be in a position like this where it's like, wow, it's too long of a walk. I want to get back in shape so I can do what I need to do with that. So we're going to work on that for the next year. It's good incentive, but needless to say, we met our limitations and went, eh. So we did not do the CETO event like we had planned. That's how it goes. All right. So anyways, moving on. So you want to say, hey, we want to see more about Amy and Andy because one, their show, they give away all this really cool stuff. Because if you're looking in the video right about there is the prize we are giving away tonight from mygeocachingstore.com. We'll get into that in a little bit. We have got other prizes like the GeoSnippits Cache Stash and other special promotions that we have all the time. How do we get into this? How do we watch them do this live? And it's very simple to watch the live feed or join us in the chat room, which is worldwide. We've got geocachers literally from all around the world right now live in the chat room each and every week because we've got that great of a network of geocachers that love to watch the show and to talk about geocaching. Go figure. All you have to do is go to www.geosnippits.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have our social media links. If you go to geosnippets.com, underneath the glowing pictures of Amy and myself and the show logo, it has connections directly to all our social networks. Amy tends to do a lot more on Facebook. I tend to do a lot more on Google+. That's where we get a lot of our viewer feedback and viewer ideas is through those. They'll come and tell us what they want to know about and things like that. So yeah, lots and lots of fun stuff that you can do with that. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your questions, your comments, or suggestions for the show by calling 919-341-9519, or you don't even have to worry about the phone charges, or especially for our friends who are overseas. All you have to do is go to the www.geosnippets.com website. On the right side of the screen, we have what is known as our Send voicemail tab. All you have to do, if you have a smartphone and if you have a tablet, if you have a laptop, if you have a computer with a microphone, all you have to do is click on that, and you get up to 3 minutes to say anything you want for the show. We'll talk about that in a second. And then that way you can literally get any information directly to us, opinions about shows, things about past shows, things that you want to see on the show, things you want to see more of. All that can be put on there, and a lot of times you end up right on the show. So, try that. It's a lot of fun. If you don't like how you sound the first time, you can redo it. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you need more time, click on it again and again and again until you get your whole opinion through, and we'll put it together. We have in the chat room, Taz427 did a path tag.
That was awesome.
Blueprint.
It was a ninja.
And the people in the chat room, you can share pictures and stuff in the chat room, which is really cool. So that's just another reason. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of really cool things that go on besides while we're doing the show. There's discussion of what we're talking about. There's the sidebars that they talk about everything.
Talk about everything.
You can share everything you want with literally geocachers around the world. Mm-hmm. That's why you want to come do the live show, because it's a lot of fun. All right, we don't have any viewer feedback per se, but Amy's going to talk about our next contest that we've got coming up, starting literally in 2 weeks. So Amy, why don't you go from there?
So I'll learn about it as I read.
Mm-hmm.
June 7th, which is 3 days after my mom's birthday.
Okay.
2014 is the WWFM. That sounds like a wrestling match. 11?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
And it's the WWFM 11.
Exactly. And we want to help you celebrate by possibly winning a special prize leading up to June 7th. You want me to show it?
Yeah, why don't you hand me the prize and I'll give it to the camera.
Oh, this thing's so cool.
This is awesome.
We were playing with it before the show.
Yes, this is
Starting on May 15th, we'll be giving away one WWFM11 GeoCoins each week up to June 5th, just before the event. So on May 15th, 22nd, 29th, and June 5th, some lucky viewer or listener will win one of these coveted geocoins. Yeah,
this is really cool. We want to thank Aaron from coinsandpins.com. He was kind enough. I actually put an order in because I wanted to, could afford a couple of these guys because they're very nice, and I wanted to have it so that we could have one and that we could also do one or two that was on the show. He called me up and said, "How many do you need?" Mm-hmm. And I said, "We would love to have 4 of them, so that we can give them away as prizes." Mm-hmm. He sent it to me the next day.
That's awesome.
So coinsandpins.com, thank you very much. If you want,
tell her the special thing it does.
Yeah, the cool thing about it, if you see the white part of the coin here, that glows in the dark. It's really cool. We put it in front of the hot spotlight, and then turned out the lights, and it just glows.
Oh man,
it's
it
awesome.
Started glowing before he even turned out the light.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. These are great points. Now, if you want to purchase your own, you can still get them by going to coinsandpins.com and look for WWFM11. You can purchase them while they last. There's not a lot, so you got to order them now. If you want to win one, we start the details in 2 weeks, where you can win a coin each week leading up to the actual event itself. So we're going to be giving 4 of these away, folks. And again, we want to thank Sonny and Sandy at Podcaster, who started the WFMM phenomenon. And we want to thank them because this never would have happened. As a matter of fact, I think this year is the first year they've got the first WWFM Mega.
Really?
Over 500 people will be there at an event for a flash mob. That's going to be something to see. So, yeah, we're going to be starting that up in 2 weeks. More details to come. It is gorgeous, and you're going to want to win one.
I want one. He's like, yeah, that's a prize.
Yeah, it's a prize.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. All right, tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Cache-Advance.com for all your geocaching needs. Cache-Advance.com, go find it. And also by
geocoinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. Go through our GeoSnippits links and use the promo code HARDHAT for a 10% discount. The poker chip geocoins are a new coin that coinsandpins.com now has available. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale.
Awesome. I just want to move this up so you can read it.
Okay. We're very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, be sure to go to our GeoSnippits websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Yeah, that's what keeps the show going. We really want to thank our sponsors. Thank you so much. Moving on. Yeehaw! Yep. I'll tell you what, this is really going to be a fun show, and it comes near and dear to our hearts for, I hope, obvious reasons. Tonight's episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 62, creating your own geocaching vlogs. Mm-hmm. Now, tonight's going to be, we're going to put our tutorial hats on and get a little more onto the teaching side of things. We're going to be going at this pretty much at the 10,000 foot level, and the reason why we're doing this is because, one, there's so much information to go over. If we start drilling down on this stuff too much, we're going to have a 6-hour show. So what we are going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to go over how to create your own vlogs, some best practices that deal with that, so you can get your own geocaching vlogs out there for other people to see. And we'll have an actual GeoSnippits come out, an actual GeoSnippits tutorial video come out in the not too distant future on drilling down on the details, literally showing you how to do post-production, how to do video editing, how to do audio editing, all the different things that that are very, very cool and interesting, and to get out a good-looking professional vlog. So tonight we give you a nice taste of what you want to do when you put out a vlog, and it'll give you everything that you need to know to get out a good one. But when it comes to actually the meat of it, the nitty-gritty stuff that you need to know to do that, we're going to actually put out a GeoSnippits video in the very short future. In fact, I've been just buzzing about that. Now you say, okay, how many people are actually putting out YouTube videos about geocaching? Now, if you saw GeoSnippets, we've been doing it since 2008 is when I first started making. Is that when you started? That's when I started making actual tutorial videos. Me and Genius went out and did the tutorials, and we had a very good run with it. We still have a good run with it. We have just found other ways of expressing tutorial information than just those. Yeah. So that's why we do things like the podcast. Mm-hmm. So back in 2008, if you went to YouTube and you put in the word geocaching, you would probably see about 2,000 videos, give or take. There weren't a ton of them. Most of them were not the best looking videos in the world. They were just people trying their best with the big video recorders and doing stuff like that. But there wasn't all the stands. And right, there wasn't the technology and things like that. And now, people didn't even know how to do it, why to do it. They just did a couple of things. So literally about 2,000 videos. Today, there are just shy of 190,000 geocaching-based videos out there. Wow. Now, we have, with GeoSnippets alone, I know Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, he just hit the 1 million mark. Did he really? Of views for his videos, and he does little. He does different styles and different lengths, and that's fine. And congratulations to Joshua for getting that out. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. We've got probably about 750,000 views for the ones that we have. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, there is a lot of videos out there for people to do. And how do you make one of these vlogs? How do you get your information about your geocaching adventures out onto YouTube? And it's really not that hard to do. when you do it, the main thing that you're going to want to consider is this: what you want to do. So in other words, do you want to do a simple, this is me going to a geocache, finding the geocache, saying a couple words, and leave?
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, but I'm talking about no editing, no anything else done.
Coming up and
no,
saying,
well,
hey,
yeah,
and
there's
all that.
just doing a quick, this is me out geocaching.
Okay.
You can do that right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this: most people will not watch your videos.
I don't know, man. They watch 27 seconds of you riding down the road in ice.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Really?
If you hit it lucky, you might get. I did a thing with one of the storms. If you saw the winter storm hit, where we got 2 inches of snow in North Carolina, and we had cars burning and people gnashing teeth and ripping robes and that kind of thing. Yes, you can put out a very quick video and get a lot of hits on it if you hit the right thing at the right time that people want. Geocaching is kind of a specialty thing. A lot of people that are interested in seeing your videos that you put out are people that are new to geocaching, that they want to get information about it. There are other geocachers out there that are not as mobile as they would like for whatever reason, and they live vicariously through other geocachers and how they find it because they can't get out to see it for whatever reason.
Well, you got the little children who want to go out and their parents can't take them out at that time.
Well, you have that. You have people that just don't have the transportation modes. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons for it. So they live through the videos of what geocaching's like, and that's great. You might want to put out ones that are like we do, that are a bit more on the informative side. We always have, even on a regular video that we do, I always try to get some kind of tutorial nugget in there for people to pull away and say that's a good idea, or gee, I should remember that, or however that works. So you can do informative. You could do funny. The two people that popped right in my head is Joshua, the geocaching vlogger. His stuff is funny. If you watch his videos, he is very, very animated. He is very comical. He makes his videos fun to watch because they're fun. There's a great one. There's another one who's a good friend of the geocaching vlogger, which is the geocaching doc. He also, they get into the much more spoofy, pratfall, comical, vaudeville type of feel when you watch their videos, and they're a lot of fun. I always kid Joshua because he and I kind of went two different ways. He went the funny way with his. I went the tutorial way with mine, and so it's fun to make fun of each other because we've been doing it. He's good natured and I am too, and we just have a lot of fun needling each other. Yeah. So that's how that goes. You can make interesting stuff, points of interest, things that you see when you're out geocaching that you want to share with other people. That doesn't even have to deal with the geocache itself. It could be the adventure going to the geocache. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with vlogs, and basically anything else that something to catch your viewers' attention when you do the vlog. So all that being said, how do you make a vlog? Well, there's a couple things that you're going to want to consider to do one, and they're all in nowadays age of the digital age. You can make a vlog. It's going to be the differences in the quality of what you do. Now, the main thing that you're going to want to consider is your budget, what you can afford. Now, for a lot of people, they go, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money when it comes into making my vlog.
I don't want to spend a lot of money anyway.
Okay. Well, what's one of the simplest ways that you think that you could do for equipment that's readily handy for most people nowadays?
Your cell phone.
Your cell phone. Cell phones are awesome because you already have it. They have a video recorder built right into them, which makes them a very easy and affordable way of making a vlog. You need to be careful, as we've always talked, when you go geocaching with your smartphone, because you might drop it and have it fall into a puddle or on a rock or what have you.
I couldn't be so lucky.
Yeah, I mean, that's something like that happens. So you got to be careful with it, but we all pretty much, and all being a general term, pretty much have a smartphone that has a video camera on it. The things that you want to consider with that, though, is that for a smartphone, the quality is not the best. You have a limited amount, depending on how much storage you have on your phone. the actual the video quality, the resolution is very limited, and the sound quality is very limited. So yes, you can make vlogs. We did the first ones with our smartphones.
Yeah.
And get away with doing that. Just remember, the quality is not always the best. Now, one of the other things that you can also use that is very affordable these days, where it wasn't years ago. Can you give me my camera right there? Is the single shot cameras that are out there. Now, the one that I have here, this is for the people watching the video, and I'll explain to it in the for the people listening to the podcast. This is my Sony CyberShot. It's an HD wide camera. It has an 18.2 megapixel camera, and the model number on this is DSC WX300. Now, the reason we switched to this from my other ELF camera that I'd used for years with this, one, it's extremely affordable.
Mm-hmm.
It really was not that expensive at all.
We got it on sale, I think.
Yeah,
and then,
at a department store.
Yeah, and then there was we got a deal. Anyway,
yeah, we got to deal with it. The nice thing about this is it's wide angle. Some of the older cameras that are not wide angle, when you do a vlog, you're handing the camera, and again, it's arm's length out, looking back at you. Now, if it's not a wide angle camera, you're going to get a very, very, very tight shot of just your face and not a whole lot more. With the wide angle cameras, when you use it, we can have two people comfortably and enough space on each side so that we're not scrunched together while we're trying to talk as much. So we highly recommend a wide angle single shot camera. They come in video mode. Mm-hmm. You can put in a 16 gig or a 32 gig.
Does that do panoramic too? I believe it does.
It does, but not while you're in video mode.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but it's got that's the other cool thing, for all those nice shots that you want to take while you're actually geocaching.
Yeah.
Your points of interest, your pretty shots, your scenic shots, all that fun stuff. You can do all the special features with the panoramic and the different things that you can do on a regular camera. So this is probably, I would say, most of your vloggers, this is what they use. Is a standard single shot camera that has a video option with it. The nice thing about this thing is it also has a steady cam feature with this.
That is nice.
Because a lot of times when you're holding the camera out arm's length, you tend to shake a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're holding it for a length of time while you're trying to talk. This alleviates a lot of that.
Yeah.
If you're walking or whatever while you're talking, that also alleviates a lot of the shaking as well. Because nobody wants to see a bumpy video.
No.
That's not pleasurable at all. But it's definitely something that you're going to want to consider above a smartphone if you're going to do vlogs. And like I say, most vloggers, that's what they use, is a camera like that.
Well, and instead Jay mentioned a monopole, which is a good idea.
Yes.
And there's also, and Dave, or DeBear's in the chat room.
Oh, awesome.
But, so he can kind of.
Well, Dave's a big photographer.
Yeah.
So he
can speak to this as well. But that gorilla thing that you can.
Yeah, the gorilla pod.
Yeah, that you can wrap around trees and such.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah, we were
on to anything.
Yeah, the kicker is a lot of times when you're doing a vlog, you don't have enough time to use a tripod. But yes. It's those I was going to get into that a little bit, but we can go into it now. For the cameras, they've got a shoe, what they call, that's that little hole at the bottom of the camera. That is used for tripods. So one of the things you can do if you want to lug around a tripod,
or you can hire a camera crew.
Or hire a camera crew that's going to use a tripod. You can use a tripod. You can use a monopod, like they just said. Now, the monopods are great because it's like walking around with a staff, a Gandalf staff with a camera on top of it. So you can use it as a walking stick and also for holding the camera steady when you do the shot. Mm-hmm. The one thing you want to remember with monopods is because it's movable, In other words, it's got the ground that you're using to keep the camera from moving.
Yes.
You can still move it forward and back, and believe it or not,
side to side.
Yes, and that will actually change the angle while you're talking. So you will get some weird angles if you don't keep it up straight.
So if you have somebody with you, that monopod's
helps.
Great.
Yes, they're great ways to.
Because I've used them with him before.
Yes.
But yeah, the GorillaPods, man, Dave's going, love the GorillaPod.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about GorillaPods, you're in the middle of the woods. All you have to do is it's got. You hook it, you attach it to the same hole at the bottom of the camera. It's got these opposable fingers, not thumbs. It has opposable fingers that you can wrap around stuff, and it will hold the camera at any angle in any direction that you want. They're very, very handy. Matter of fact, I keep one in my pack all the time, just for that reason. Yes?
Oh, they're just funny. DeBear says that your monopod is kind of cool.
Yes, he's used mine when we've been out geocaching. They're a lot of fun.
He's like, I want one.
Yeah, they're very nice. And actually, you can get one for like $10. They're really not all that expensive.
Somebody's Memphis's wife says their camera crew consists of their 7-year-old and an iPhone.
Well, there you go. That may work.
Yeah.
You get that lower angle when you do it that way.
They like the Gandalf staff thing, though.
Yes, the Gandalf staff works with a monopod. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So it's all going to base on what you can afford. You can go into the higher quality video cameras. The thing that's nice about those is most of the time the screens, especially you get the ones that flip the side and you got the screen right there while you're holding it and you're looking, you can actually turn that screen around backwards. So you can actually face the camera towards you with the screen so you can see what you're filming while you're filming it. Those are really nice, but they're expensive. They're not cheap. And again, you get into a thing of if it's not a wide-angled lens on it, you're going to be forced to be in those real tight shots. So that's something that you want to consider. But those also hook to all the different tripods and such when you're going with that. So what do you really need? Again, and it's a question of quality that you want to consider. The smartphones, resolution's not always the greatest because the camera lens is not the greatest. You want to have your video quality nowadays at what they call 16:9, which is your standard resolution that you're going to see on YouTube videos. The HD resolution that you're going to want is 720 is kind of on the older, less high res that they want anymore.
Yeah, 1080 is.
Yeah, if you're going for a 1080 now, those are pretty much the standard. If you have a camera like this, is literally, I had to turn it down on the resolution. That's how high the video gets, because what ends up happening, the higher your resolution of your video, the bigger the file is that you need to see.
Yes.
And literally this will create a 5-minute video that's too big for YouTube to work on. That's how how high the resolution gets on this thing. So you really want to keep it down to about 1080 HD, and you're going to work out really well. Just remember, again, smartphones, quality. Single shot cameras, good quality, and your video cams are going to be extra good quality because of the lenses. That's how those work. Now, somebody in the chat room asked about GoPros. GoPros are awesome.
Everybody apparently wants one in there.
Yes, GoPros are fantastic. They're getting better as far as what you can do with them. Basically, GoPros for the geocacher that literally wants to rappel off a side of a mountain.
I do not.
Go underwater, go wherever. GoPros, you strap them to your camera and you go. And what you see is what it sees.
You strap them to your camera?
The camera straps to your helmet.
Okay.
And basically, it's a helmet on your camera. Now people that are
it's
into
a helmet cam.
Yeah, if you're into BMX, if you're into skateboarding, if you're into all these other high impact type sports, they're awesome for that, because you can actually, while you're doing your flips and
people can
breaking your legs,
be with you while you're doing your flips.
You can see it while you're actually doing
without breaking your leg.
Yeah, you can get some really good stuff. Plus, they're water proof, so you can take them underwater.
I would do that.
They're very high shock proof. They're made to get out there and get beat up. That's why everybody wants them so much. What you can do with them afterwards, you're limited to your resolutions and things like that. But if you're really into Terrain 5 type geocaching, doing stuff, those are the way to do it. So, yeah, excellent question. Thanks, guys. That's really good. So, yeah, now that's the video quality of it. Audio quality, to many people, is even more important than the video quality. If you have
if you can see everything but you can't hear it,
what good is it?
What's the point?
Exactly, and that's what we're going to try to get across with this. Smartphones, very, very poor quality as far as the recorder part of it, the audio part of it. You're going to get not so clear signal. You're going to get a lot of interference from wind, other ambient noises around you, frogs. If you are not talking directly at it at the right amount of volume when you're talking, you're not going to hear anything.
Right.
There's other things that can cause interference while you're listening to it. So they are not the best when it comes to actually...
And actually, some of them, depending on the carrier, will get interference if you're close to another carrier's tower.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of things with that. So the audio is something that you want to consider with the smartphone as being, it'll get you by, but that's about it. The one-shot cameras like we have, much better quality when it comes to the sound and overall resolution for the sound and the quality of the sound itself. Much better. They can handle a little better when it comes to wind. Not the greatest, but it's still something that you want to...
wireless
yes,
mic.
Yes, and we'll get into that in a sec too. Video recorders.
You are on it, Dave.
You are on it, Dave. Well, he's been doing. We've done it, and they work really well. Video recorders have the best. A lot of times you've got different types of mic hookups that you can connect into them to even get better quality. That way, you can get focus bars that will pick up from a long distance on a very small plane when you talk to. And so, in other words, if a person's 20 feet in front of you, it'll be able to focus just on that person because that's where those focus bars work on. Or they will have better wind protection for things like that as well when you're out talking to somebody. So a lot of quality when it comes to video recorders. The best recorders that you can do, and like Dave put with the show as well, the Zoom recorder, which is actually what we use when we record our podcasts. When you do interviews or you're doing recording while you're outside, a Zoom recorder works great.
Yeah.
You can get them less than $100 for the lower end Zooms, and they are great. You can hook a microphone to them, so you can have a person right there talking to the mic, and you get that, and then you don't have any, like if you're in a crowd, your quality is so much better.
Or you can put it between two people and pick up both people.
And pick up both. So it's excellent for things like that.
The interview with WV Tim, it was actually on the floor.
Yeah, we just had it down below in front of us and was able to pick up pure quality for that. It's great. The other thing that David brought up was the wireless mics. You can get them different variants. I will tell you right now, with wireless mics, you get what you pay for. The nice thing about wireless mics is there's a battery pack that hooks onto your belt. It has a lapel microphone that you can put anywhere attached to you, and literally talk into that right there. Again, you're only getting with the subject that you're doing with, to get the quality for that, and it doesn't pick up all the ambience noise around. They are very, very cool. The receiver is another pack that you hook to the recorder, and so now you're able to get a direct connection, even wireless. Those work exceptionally well. The other thing that a lot of people use are the boom mics. So, and it's not boo, it's boom. It's a boom mic. So basically what that is, it's a long stick or pole that has a microphone on the end of it with
like they used to use in the old movies and stuff.
Yeah, those work very well. So that way you don't see the mic on the person who's talking, and yet the microphone's out of shot just above you, and it's able to pick it up. There. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I've got different ones that that I use here in the studio that are on poles that literally are very sensitive, and you'll never see the microphone, and I can still talk clearly. So that's where
Yes.
those work out very well. Unfortunately, some of them are so sensitive you can't use them in situations like with two people in the same
Right.
studio, that kind of thing.
When he does the show by himself, then he can use it.
Yes, it's very, very nice. And the again, audio quality, audio makes your video.
Yes.
The better the quality you can have on your audio, it's like, wow, this sounds like a lot of work. If you're saying that,
It's really not.
It's really not, but if you're saying that, go with your smartphone, go with your camera,
Yeah.
and do a video. If you want the good stuff and really have a quality where people go, wow, that was nicely done, that's what you want to do with that.
Apparently, they still use the booms in the movies.
Yes, they do. Absolutely, they do.
Static J said.
Because they don't want to wear microphones while they're
I don't
doing
blame
their
them.
stuff. So they use booms.
Yeah, but if they're in the movies and like with the Expendables,
Okay. That's with Stallone.
yeah, they didn't use boom mics there.
Sure they did.
Really?
Every time if they are not running physically in a scene, if they're talking and they're doing their shots, I can guarantee there's a boom mic above them.
Oh,
I absolutely guarantee it.
all right.
Yeah, because that's how, again, quality. You can't screw up the audio. The quality in the audio is crucial, and they will have the mics right there. Matter of fact, a lot of times they either have to cut the shot or redo the shot because the boom mic got in.
Yeah.
So that happens. All right, some things that you want to consider when you're doing your vlog. Batteries for whatever your device that you're using. Make sure that you have enough batteries, or make sure that you have enough rechargeable batteries for what you're using. If you're doing a vlog that's lengthy in any way, shape, or form, that becomes a factor. So make sure that you have batteries set up. SD cards for storage. Basically, all my cameras have at least 16 gig, most of the time 32 gig, and in some of my bigger cameras, 64 gig SD cards for the shots. And they're inexpensive now. You can get them for a couple of bucks, figuratively speaking, depending on the size of the SD card. The more storage you have, the more you can do, and you never want to run out of storage. So that's SD cards are critical. Also, if you're on longer trips, if you're going to be doing a lot of videoing and you're going to be out doing stuff, you're going to want to take a laptop or another storage device that you can take your SD cards, pop them into there, save everything off of it, and then empty them out and pop them back into your devices so that you can go film more. Mm-hmm. So storage is huge when it comes to things like that. Equipment containers are very, very important when you're out going. And you say, Andy, I'm just making a vlog. Some of this stuff, you're going to be out in the woods. You're going to be in areas that are not easily accessible to your car. If you're out in the woods, and actually Dave can tell you, DeBear can tell you about a nice little story last year where he was out in the woods and got deluged when it comes to
yes.
instant storms that literally just, you might as well have been walking in a swimming pool that you get that much water. You want to save your equipment. So some of the things that you want to consider are like wet bags. I have a $70 wet bag that will store usually all of my equipment. If I know that a deluge is coming, the thing folds to about maybe a 5x5 square that's maybe 2 inches, 3 inches thick. And it's like a poncho or an airline bag type thing that you
clearly haven't needed to use this because I had no idea.
Right. So basically, what happens? I keep this with me.
Broke his camera.
If I notice, and it did, it broke his camera. His smartphone barely made it. If you see the storm coming, you just unzip this thing. It's completely waterproof. It folds out. You put all your equipment, your smartphones, your cameras, anything that's going to get damaged. It's big enough to hold all this stuff, and you zip it up. and you get deluged, and it'll actually float in water. So it's one of those type things. So it keeps your equipment safe. Now you can get away with Ziploc bags, things like that as well. But for your heavy duty equipment, you want to have a heavy duty way of keeping it protected. And so wet bags are a great way to go with that. Also, a lot of this equipment, you have standard bags that you can just carry your stuff in as well. The idea is keep your stuff dry. And go that way. All right. Let's see. We don't have a whole lot more that we're going to go over tonight because we're running a little bit long, and I've got a ton of information here. So let's just get right into the other part. This was just up to your equipment, getting ready for your vlog. When you do your shoot, this is a couple of key points that you're going to want to consider for your vlog. Decide what your vlog is going to be about. And it's like, well, duh. Think of it in parts or acts. Actually have with you a piece of paper that says beginning does this. The middle part and the stuff that I want to actually, the meat of it that I want to get my point across is this. The ending is this. And then also have what I call B-roll. So you have the meat, which is the main point, the veggies, which is all the stuff leading to and going away from, and the rolls, the B-roll. That's all the pretty stuff. So in other words, if you're walking to get to the geocache, you do a nice side shot of the trees going by or the trail in front of you or some points of interest.
Yeah, but you don't want to do a lot of that.
Not enough.
A lot of any of that.
Not a lot, but some is necessary.
Some, sure.
If you want the feel of transition, so in other words, I am driving to get away to wherever this spot is. You do 5 seconds of a shot in front of you of cars in front of you as you're driving. All you need is 3 to 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be much for these. Okay. What's the question that we have here?
Dave would like to know, how much do you script ahead of time for the GeoSnippits videos?
The GeoSnippits videos are tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have an entire storyline. I have all the bullet points of everything that I want to do to get across, and there's usually a lot that's involved with it. All the key points, like when we do a podcast, we have all these key points that we want to make sure are stated in the podcast. Same thing for the GeoSnippits videos. There's a lot involved, a lot of thought involved with something like that. For your vlogs, most of that stuff's on the spot. When we do a vlog, it's like, okay, here's us going to the geocache. Here's us finding the geocache. Here's us signing the log in the geocache.
Like the geocache that I found while he was going back to get, what was it you were going back to get? Something.
The GPS.
Yeah, it's a GPS. And I found it while he was gone. Yeah.
Yes.
He stopped and he was like, okay, she is laughing, so she found it.
And that made it funny. That made it interesting in the video.
But you can't be afraid to wing it.
Right, and a lot of it you're going to, for the type of vlogs that you want. The tutorial stuff, I've got things that I've got an entire storyboard that I do when I do this. It's a production. It's a production when I do that. When you're just doing a vlog, a lot of it's going to be on the spot stuff. You might do things like, say, for example, you don't know where the geocache is.
Right.
All right, let's just try to find the geocache and we'll film that.
Yeah.
That may take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might do, okay, well, we found the geocache. Now we know where it is. Mm-hmm. Now let's film us finding it, which makes it cut down the amount of time finding the geocache. Short. So you kind of stage that in certain circumstances to go that way. Let's show them person signing the log. Let's show what the geocache looks like. Mm-hmm. You may or may not want to do that. It depends on how much work and how much difficulty this went into the geocache itself. Some of the stuff you may not want to show the exact spot where it is. You want to show it off to the side and just show the geocache. The geocache might be so specially made that you might show the adventure coming just up to it and not show it yourself. Yeah, I mean you're going to have to use your judgment with this. The other thing that you're going to want to consider with this is permission. Mm-hmm. Get permission from the geocachers if you can, saying, hey, I did this video, and do you mind if I put it on YouTube?
We've done that.
And we've done that a lot of times, and we get that. The other thing that you're going to want to do, and again, this will go into the GeoSnippet video when we get into this, is editing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to see a good set of very visual editing, go watch the geocaching vlogger. He has text, he has all sorts of different angles, he has cool shots, he has all that. Get a sense by watching what he does on a good way of editing. Watch our GeoSnippits videos. You'll see a good sense of editing that goes in that. And we'll get into more, getting more into that when we actually get into the video.
We're running late.
And so we're running late, but this gives you kind of a really, really good bird's eye view. It's very easy to do. It sounds like a lot of work, but the work is the research for what you want to do for creating what you want for your vlog. So make sure that you put in the time and the effort and the research on what you want to accomplish with your vlog, and then get the stuff to do it, and then go from there. Mm-hmm. And again, we'll have a complete GeoSnippets video on how to do the post-production stuff, the editing, all that fun stuff. We'll have in the not-too-distant future, but this will get you started. Because loading up a file to YouTube is as simple as hitting upload. It's as simple as that. All right, lots of stuff, but like I said, 10,000 view and good discussion in the chat room. All right, I think we hit about everything we can tonight because we got a lot to do yet.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts and your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippits, we thank you.
Yes, we do. All right, folks, it ends tonight. Our full April promotion for mygeocachingstore.com, the ultimate geocaching survival bag.
This bag can finally quit torturing me.
Yes, and can get mailed to some lucky individual.
Yes.
And we're talking, of course, about this guy right here. Now, he's way back there, and he looks a lot smaller than he is. It's a good-sized pack. Tons of stuff in here. Retail value of $70 US. There is more things than we could do. It'll take another half hour going through all the stuff that they have in here. It is a ton of things. So this is how it worked. If you look just to the left of our viewer, there is a graphic showing what everything is in the Ultimate Geocaching Survival Bag. If you click on that, it had all the contest rules, and it also has all the different photographs that were sent in. Depending on what you did with your photograph, dictated if you got 1, 2, or 3 entries placed in your name for a chance of winning the prize.
Yes.
We have, I would say, close to 100 entries that are in the bag after you figure it all out.
Actually, it's an ammo box.
Yeah, thank you. She's being literal, and she's right, because here, where do they put it?
It's behind me, I think. If I move, the chair's going to go down.
It's right here. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Here is the ammo box with all the entries, and I'm going to open it up. Oops, as I do this. I will open it up.
And I'm going to not look.
And you can hear me opening it up. And inside, see if I can get a shot of this, are all the entries. Everybody's entry that and the number of entries that qualified for them. So basically what I ended up doing is I took all of them on the table after they were all written out and folded, scrambled them up, put them back in the ammo box, shuck it around about a bunch. Shuck it, yeah.
Shuck it.
Yeah, I shuck it like corn, honey. I shuck it.
Dave was talking about you needed a Scottish accent. I think your Southern is pretty good right now.
Yes. So anyways, I shuck it into, and went through and scrambled them up even more. And Amy, without looking into the box, is going to pull one
I can see yellow.
Okay, can pull one entry. So she's going to do this right now as we do this. She's going to pull out a single, make sure it is one entry. Reach in there, make sure you can get into that.
Okay.
Get in there. And she's going to pull out a single entry. Make sure it's one.
Yep, I just got one.
All right. I'm going to close the box up. And I'm going to put it back.
This is the winner.
All right. She's got the winner. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure.
All right, open it up. All right. Who is the winner of the MyGeocachingStore.com's Ultimate Geocaching Survival Bag? And the winner is
Bible Man Rick.
Holy cow, awesome. Now, if you go onto the website, you are going to see the picture that actually says Bible Man Rick. And congratulations, Bible Man Rick.
Yeah.
We will get this put in a priority package and send this off to you this week so that you can get it as soon as possible. And congratulations for Bible Man Rick. You are the winner of April's fantastic contest. And again, we are going to have several other contests coming up over the next couple of months. And congratulations, Bible Man Rick. I'll send that off to you as well so you can get that right with your package.
Yeah. Everybody had awesome pictures. I laughed when I saw
them. Oh, they're worth looking at. Go check them out.
Oh, absolutely.
Matter of fact,
I hope you guys had a great time doing this.
Yes, there's a lot of fun, and we hope that you do more like this because
absolutely.
It was really, really great.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so moving on. Bible Man Rick, awesome for winning that. But you know what? We have our stuff that we need to give away too. We've got the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cache Stash. And how does that work? Well, it's simple. We have companies that are in the geocaching world that want to get the word out about their products. And so what they do is they contact us and they send us all these goodie bags of stuff, these care packages of love that have all this geocaching greatness in there. And what we do is we take those and we choose a prize, and then we do a blurb about that company and the product that they provided. We talk about it, and so they get the word out about them, and you get the prize of what they sent. And each week we do this. So, Amy, why don't we get into last week, which would be episode 61.
Okay. The prize is from coinsandpens.com. It's the 250 Cache Finds Geo Achievement Set.
And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's for 250 finds. So this is a great way to get a geocoin added to your collection and a pin added to your pack.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, coinsandpins.com.
Okay, and the question is, there is a new geocache type known as the Giga event, where the requirement is to have over 5,000 participants, which is weird because to be a Giga, you have to have what size of a number? What is a Giga?
Yeah, so we literally wanted to know, what's a Giga? And it's very simple. It's not 5,000, just like a mega is not 500.
Mm-mm.
A Giga is 10 to the 9th power. So in other words, 1 with 9 zeros after it, or a billion, or 1,000 million, which was established back in the 1960s. Any one of those is an official Giga. So the way we're going to find each and every week for the person who's going to win for this, one, you have to send in a correct answer. And what we have here is a random number generator that goes from 1 to the total number of correct answers that we received in our email bag. I'm going to push the number, and it's going to give me a random number. Or I'm going to push the button, and it's going to give me a random number. Now, we also have all the correct answers right here in a list.
Yes.
So the way this works is Amy's going to take her magic coin.
It's not Canadian coin.
But it's still magic.
It's second best.
Yeah, and so she's going to flip it, and it's going to go either heads or tails. If it's heads, we are going to count down from 1 to whatever the random number is. If it's tails, we're going to count from the bottom up those many spots that the random number is. and that'll be our winner. Are we going heads or are we going tails?
We are going heads.
All right, top of the list makes that easier. So I got to go all the way up here, and I need to count down. And some of this is combined with the geocaching store, so put up with me for a second here if you would. All right, I need it from here. All right. All right. We have got, let's see. All right, I will mark this. Dan. Hello? We have Dan.
Yes, I'm with you.
Congrats, too.
Yes, I'm with you.
Dan and Heather. And I'm going to slaughter the last name, so I'm going to spell it.
Okay, hang on.
All right, Dan and Heather.
I'll type it with one hand.
Okay, and then P-U-G.
Oops.
A-T-H. Pugach?
See, don't even try.
Dan and Heather.
Yes.
All right. So that's our winner for that particular prize. We will get that out to them. Congratulations for winning for episode 61. Way to go.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Jay was telling me once I go Canadian, I can't go back.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that there. Dan and Heather.
I'm sorry, Canadian coin. I misread.
There you go. Thank you. Family show. All right.
Sorry, Dave.
So Dan and Heather, if you'd be so kind as to send us your address, we will get that coin out to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for playing along, and congratulations for winning episode 61. Miss Amy, why don't you tell them? Well, let's do this. Let's talk about. Yeah, you might say to yourself, hey, I want to win this stuff. They're giving away prizes all over the place. How do I get in on this stuff? Well, it's really simple. To be eligible to win a prize from the Cache Stash, one, you have to send in a correct answer via email.
Yeah, correct is good.
Yeah, correct is good. For this week's episode, episode 62, your answer has to be in by 12 noon Eastern Time Wednesday on May 7th, which is the upcoming Wednesday, 2014. Email it to, and I'll get this up on our bottom third for this. Email it to gsreboot@gmail.com. Again, gsreboot@gmail.com. In the subject line, you want to put Q1 and episode 62 for tonight's episode. All correct answers will be put in a drawing just like you saw. And some weeks, for the people in the live chat room, we also have a second prize we give away right then, right there. We're not going to do it tonight because we just gave away another prize that was worth $70. So we do it at least once a month. We are in May now, so it could be next week. Well, you never know. That kind of gives you that little incentive to come see if you can win a second prize right then, right there. But instead, why don't Amy now, since we're at the right place, why don't you tell them about the question for episode 62? Let's do the prize.
The prize is from gxproxy.com, and it's really kind of neat. My dad would like it. Yellow Ground Zero Searchlight.
These are awesome. I got the hook hanging out on the side for this. This is for night caching. When we did the tunnel cache in West Virginia, this is the only light that we used out of it. It has a light that has all LEDs on the side. It has another one out of the front. It's got a magnet on the back to hook on to whatever you want to do that way. And it also has this fantastic hook that folds right back into the flashlight itself. It is so cool. Thank you, gxproxy.com. This is an awesome, awesome flashlight. I highly recommend you get this not only for geocaching, but just to put in your car. They're that good. All right, fantastic. Why don't we talk about what the question is for episode 62?
Okay. The question is, what does LED, as in an LED flashlight, stand for?
All right. So what does LED stand for?
I know the answer.
Great. Don't say it.
I knew the answer.
The question, send it to gsreboot@gmail.com, episode 62 in the subject line. Good luck to everybody, and we'll find out who wins this really, really cool flashlight next week. All right, moving on. Well, we had a great show tonight. We hope that you did too, and hope we whet your appetite for getting a vlog out there into the YouTube universe. It's a fun thing. It's great to see people looking at your views. And again, we'll talk about how to get people to find your videos once you actually get it out, and everything that we talk about tonight, plus so much more in an upcoming GeoSnippits video. So look for that, and we'll let you know when that comes out.
And who knows, maybe we'll do a vlog contest.
We could do that too. Ooh. You know, we got something coming up in June that has a prize that would be worthy of doing a vlog. All right. We just might do that.
Learning your vlog
Start learning your stuff. That is an
practicing.
You are so cool. That is so awesome. I love that. We're going to do
You know, I wish I could take credit, but I can't.
Why?
Because somebody in the chat room mentioned it.
All right.
I will give credit where credit is due.
Thank you so much. That is awesome. We will do that for. Can we tell them what the prize is going to be?
Let's wait.
We'll wait.
Yes.
It's worth it, and this was worth $70. What we're giving out is going to be worth a whole lot more than that. So stay tuned. Yeah. June, we will.
You got to come back to find out what it is.
That's right. Good stuff. All right, Miss Amy, let's wrap this puppy up.
All right. I want to thank our sponsors, cache-advance.com and coinsandpins.com. Thanks to Andy Head Hard Hat Smith, and thanks to everyone watching and the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and we'll see you next time. Coming in.
Yeehaw, we're not from the South now. All right.
Yeehaw.
We want to do a special thanks to our Southern Belle here, wife Amy. We'll see you next week on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another spine-tingling, prize-packed, whole key smokes bullwinkle fun. And we're going to take speech lessons.
I was going to say.
Or not drink so much corn slurp. Anyways, the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. We'll see you out on the trails, folks. Bye-bye. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or send a website voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a Head Hard Hat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2014 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And thank you, Emmy, the geocaching wonder dog.
Oh, my gosh. Actually, somebody did say they heard the frogs once.
All right. And clear. All right. Good show. Good show. Lots of stuff. Had a lot of fun. Really good time.
Dave wants a pony.
No, he's going to have to talk to Santa. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for the prize, the great prize.
Oh, the prize to be a pony?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to Santa.
He would name it Tony.
Tony the pony. Wow.
Oh, it's going bad now. Okay.
Yeah, it's going downhill really quick. Well, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming on by, and we hope you have a great geocaching week. Be safe out there. Spring's out there. That means critters are awakening up. Poke it with a stick. Don't reach your hand in where you can't see, that kind of fun stuff. Stay safe. We want to see you next week on Thursday, and just be safe out there. It's going to be a really, really another good show next week. Good stuff. Be safe.
And go get your pony.
And get your pony. Named Tony. That's a phony. Yeehaw. Yip, yip. Bye, folks.